So there's a hiker about, I think she's about 5 days ahead of me, maybe a week ahead of me. Yeah, at least a week ahead of me. And I've been watching her videos to kind of get a heads up of what's going on. And I think this is a section that she was walking on. A bunch of dogs came out and started to, like, I don't know, they weren't being too aggressive, but they were just barking. So I'm anticipating that happening here. So I'm just got my camera out to see if the dogs come out and get after me too. I think people think, you know, oh, are you scared you're gonna get attacked by a gator or something like that? And the only thing that I'm really concerned about are these unchained dogs. Some of them can be very aggressive. You know, when I was gonna do this through hike, and I told my mom, I said, you know, explained to her what this was and that there's some areas where you got to be walking through the swamp for like 10 miles. And she paused and then looked at me with a straight face and said, I'm worried you might get eaten by a giant python. I'm not worried about the giant python. I'm worried about the aggressive dogs more than anything. And you know how it is with like an aggressive dog that's left unchained. They usually have an aggressive owner to go with it, you know. Shout out to r/Florida man. You know, the kind of person that, like, this dog's gonna be attacking me. And as I'm trying to defend myself, the owner's gonna get a gun out and threaten to shoot me. Stop hitting my dog. So that's a concern. But it looks like I got pretty lucky. I guess the dogs don't want to mess with me. Oh, yeah, there he is. Hang on. Hello. Hello. Well, that's one of them, I think. I think she had like 5 or 6 of them out after her, so I got pretty lucky today, and he's not too bad. Oh, come on, I've been warned. I'm moving along. You've duly terrified me. He's not too bad. Oh, shit. Now here come his buddies. Oh, these are little guys. Anyways, that's what I thought was gonna happen, so glad I got my camera out for it. I think a trick that I picked up that I read online was to carry some dog treats with you. This is a pretty easy situation. This guy's little, but yeah, it'd be a little more nerve-wracking if it was a, you know, really big dog, which I'm sure I will face at some point. Oh, anyway, I guess I'll pick up some dog treats and see how that works. So my hair and facial hair aren't too bad yet, but pretty soon I'm gonna have a nasty scruffy beard and my hair is gonna be really nasty, so I'll be wearing what's called a buff. It's kind of like a do-rag. And one thing about this trail is when you're hiking the Appalachian Trail, everybody knows what you're doing out there. So all the locals, when you go into towns, you know, they know that you're a thru hiker. But here, we're so rare that I think a lot of people think we're homeless. So I'm gonna get a lot of funny looks going into these towns. But so far, really good. My body is holding up much better than I thought. Well, yesterday I thought I was sunk. Yesterday I thought I was gonna be stuck having to take a 0, but today I feel fine, no problems. Making the pack lighter. I got rid of the what's called the brain. It's the compartment that sits on top. I got attached to it on the AT. It took me about half the trip before I decided I don't need it. I just knew that was going to happen again, so I just went ahead and got rid of it last night. Sometimes it's not just about the extra weight. Sometimes it's also about just having less clutter, less things to worry about. It's easy enough just to open the top of this pack and grab what I need, or put what I need handy in the back. There's a pocket right in the very back. Probably can't see it, but there's a mesh pocket back there where I can grab, like, you know, stuff like sunscreen or these headphones. Let me talk about these headphones. Some of you watching this video, you might be doing research. I'm sure there are people that might be searching YouTube or Google to plan their through hike of, this trail or other trails. So I'll give you some tips. The headphones I'm using, they're bone conduction headphones. They're called Aftershocks. I highly recommend them. They have a good battery life. They're not in your ears, which I don't care how well designed they are. Anything in my ears gets uncomfortable for hours on end. And I can wear these for hours, no problem. So I recommend those. Also, the sound goes down through your skull bone, so it's not like something is in your ears. So you get to also hear which is the sound of a rattlesnake. Rattlesnake doesn't want to bite you. He wants to let you know he's there because he knows he can't eat you. So I want to make sure that I'm able to hear that. I was about 2 inches from stepping on a rattler on the AT, and he just bowed up and gave me the rattle. So ever since then, I knew, oh, good. They just don't want to step on them. They're pretty cool. So yeah, that's a nice safety feature of these kind of headsets. Also, some things have changed since when I hiked. When I first did a through hike, it was in 2002. Yeah, I'm old. And there was no such thing as a smartphone. So, and you didn't want to carry a big, heavy Walkman. Does anybody know what those are anymore? You don't want to carry anything heavy like that out here. So, it's so nice to have these smartphones now. And I got like in my tent at night, I can watch movies. If I get in the right spot, my connection will actually be good enough to use Stadia, and I can be playing like a top of the line game in the middle of nowhere through Stadia and the connection. This is a 5G phone, but I've yet to see a 5G signal, and I certainly won't see one out here. These orange blazes that I got to keep following. So anyway, I recommend also the Gut Hook app, but you probably know that by now if you're doing any kind of research on hiking. That's going to tell you where everything is. Campsites, water sources, all landmarks, everything you need to know. Another great thing about these hikes, I generally don't want to listen to stuff all day, but it is nice, especially during the road walk sections, to throw on an audiobook or a podcast. I'd recommend YouTube Premium. I normally would not pay for it, but for a through hiker, you can download the videos and turn your phone off and listen to them. So you're not wasting screen. Your battery's not getting zapped by the screen being on. And a lot of those YouTube channels are kind of like listening to a podcast. So those are nice. So I would recommend that. There's an app called Audials, Audials, which also lets you download things and has a ton of podcasts and radio stations. So these are all good things to help keep you entertained on the trail, although you don't really need it. Like right now, it's so peaceful out here, I don't want to listen to anything. I don't want to listen to myself talk much more. I think that's about all I got to say today. So, I'm sure I'll think of something later. But, all right, signing off. Yeah, one more quick thing I did want to mention is that obviously I'm out in the middle of nowhere and I need to conserve the battery on my phone. So often I will put it in airplane mode. And in airplane mode, it's not searching for a cell signal and stuff like that. So it saves the battery. But that also means, I'm out of touch, out of communication with the world. So there will be maybe a couple of days, I don't know, maybe a few days where I am unreachable. Even if I did have it off of airplane mode, I would probably be unreachable because, there's no cell phone service out here. So anyways, just a heads up, because I know a couple of people have tried to call me or video call me, and it's like, I can't, the service isn't good enough out here in the woods. There are going to be a couple of spots where it is, but for the most part, no. Okay, that's all I wanted to add. So here's a time lapse of me setting up my tent for the very first time. It was a little confusing the first time, but it's pretty simple. I'll be able to do this in about 5 minutes in the future. I ran out of memory, so you won't be able to see the full time lapse here, but I'll probably do another one in the future so you can see the whole process in fast time. All right, welcome to my humble abode. Day 3 in the books. really good day. Walking on this trail is really nice. Walking on a bed of pine needles. I know a lot of people are complaining about the road walk, but don't complain when you have so much other great walking. So I have a 2-person tent, which is great because I can set all my stuff up here inside and organize it and then sleep on the other half. And there you go.